beautiful female facing them with a sword in one hand and a dagger in the other. Could she not count? There were 12 of them and only one of her, a very small, delicate one. Signalling his men to halt, Ewan slowly rode toward the woman. She was dressed as a lad in a jerkin, breeches and boots, but there was no doubt that she was a woman. It was not just the long, thick honey-gold braid hanging down to her slim hips which gave her away either. The lad's clothing could not fully disguise her lithe feminine shape. Her face was definitely that of a woman as well. A very beautiful woman. When he was close enough to see her eyes, he felt his breath catch in his throat. They were big eyes, the long, thick lashes surrounding them several shades darker than her hair, as were her finely arched brows. They were also the colour of violets. He did not think he had ever seen eyes that colour, or eyes so stunningly beautiful. The rest of her heart-shaped face was equally captivating. She had delicate bones, from the soft curve of her high cheekbones to the line of her faintly stubborn jaw. Her nose was small and straight, her skin clear and fine with a hint of gold to it, as if she had been gently gilded by the sun, and her lips were full and tempting. He idly wondered where she had gotten the scars, one on each cheek. They were neat, a rather gentle mark beneath each of her lovely cheekbones. He silently cursed as he dismounted and drew his sword. If he was thinking that even her scars were beautiful, she was more dangerous than she looked. Ewan knew how intimidating he looked, so was rather surprised when she only blinked once, slowly, looked him over, and then tensed in the way a warrior does when braced for an attack.
"You canna be thinking to fight with me, lass,"
he said, scowling at her.
"And why shouldn't I?"
Fiona asked.
"Because I am a man, bigger than ye in height and breadth. I did notice that."
It was impossible not to notice that, Fiona mused. He had to be a foot or more taller than her own meagre 5 feet 3 inches if she stood very straight. She suspected he might even be taller than her brothers. He was broad of shoulder, lean of hip, and had long, well-formed legs. His loosely fitted jerkin and breeches did little to hide the strength in his body. His sword looked rather impressive as well. Fiona knew she ought to be shaking in her boots, but she was not. It puzzled her, for there was no softness to be found in his harsh features. There was a predatory look to the man. His bone structure was good, from the high cheekbones to the strong jaw, but there was a hardness to the face that stole away the elegant handsomeness it should have had. His nose had probably once been long and straight, but a break or two had left a bump at the bridge of it, giving it a hawkish look. Despite his dark scowl, she could see that his mouth was well-shaped, a hint of fullness to his lips. His eyes were an intriguing bluish-grey, like a clear summer sky when the clouds of approaching night started to seep into it. And he was lucky to still have both of them, she mused as she glanced at the scar that ran from just above his right eyebrow, down his right cheek to his jaw, passing within a hair's breadth of the corner of his eye. There was a hint of softness to be found in those eyes, however, in the long, thick lashes and neat brows that held the touch of an arch. His long, thick, pitch-black hair, hanging several inches past his broad shoulders, was braided on either side of his face and only added to his look of a fierce, dark warrior. And he was very dark indeed, she thought. Even his skin was dark, and something told her it was not from the sun. There was the inky shadow of an emerging beard, which only made his face even darker. Fiona wondered why she, a woman who had spent her life surrounded by fair, handsome men, should find this dark man so attractive.
"Then ye will nae be fighting with me,"
Ewan said, subduing the urge to back away from her intense study.
"They do say that the bigger a man is, the harder he will fall,"
she murmured.
"Then old Ewan ought to fair shake the ground,"
said the young man holding the reins of the dark man's horse, and the other men chuckled.
"I will nae fight with a wee lass,"
Ewan said.
"Ah, that is a relief, as I had no real urge to get all a sweat and weary. So